Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you some amazing records that all have something very cool in common. They all came from garage sales. I didn't go to the garage sales and find them. I had a very cool guy named Paul from California send these records my way. But every one of them came from garage sales that he has recently went to. 50 cents, $1, $1.50. Crazy prices for some very cool records, including a book with a very famous autograph that I was wanting. So I am very excited to show this video, and I haven't been able to make as many videos lately, so thank you so much for those who are tuning in. I have been battling being very sick, and then on a day when I really felt like I could make a video, my screen of my phone broke, so I had to go and get that repaired in another state. Just been an interesting time, and Paul sent a group of records about a week ago, and I got them all cleaned, listened to them, and was prepared to make the video when my screen broke. But, you know, it kind of worked out good in the end, because even though I couldn't make a video that day, today he sent me another batch of killer garage sale finds. So I'm going to show you all of them here in one video. And I don't go to garage sales, but this sure inspires me to start. There's some really cool stuff in here. So if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe, do all the YouTubey things that helps my channel. And I really thank you so much for that. Let's get started. I'm just going to show, he sent a lot of 45s, but I'm just going to show you what I think are my personal favorites that I think you would think are cool too. So Peter Frampton's Baby I Love Your Way, just a really nice one, and it's got its original sleeve. This is The Vapors, Turning Japanese, a very cool one. This is a really cool INXS song, and I remember this song, but it was before INXS really hit it big. So the one thing, if you play it, you'll instantly know it. It's a really good one, and I'm glad to have the single of that. And also he sent a really cool Beach Boys Fun, backed with Why Do Fools Fall in Love? So that was a very nice one. And he also sent Fleetwood Mac Say You Love Me, backed with Monday Morning, which I love that song too. So they're all in really good condition. Those are wonderful 45s. Let's get on to the records now. First off, Bob Dylan at Budokan. I don't know how hard this record is to get, but I never see it when I'm out. And it's got a great track listing. It's 2 LPs. This is a copy from New Zealand. I think he paid $1 for it. It's unbelievable. Like I said, the track listing is wonderful. Now, he plays the songs we know, but he just plays them in a way we've never heard them before. A really cool version of Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. He actually made it reggae for this. And so I like the original better. And I would just say, if you like Bob Dylan songs and you want to hear them the way you knew them, just listen to his original recordings of them, because these live albums are all over the place. He does different renditions. This has a heavy saxophone feel to it. There's a lot of saxophone playing on it, but it's really cool. It sounds good. I enjoy Bob Dylan. Even if he wants to go totally off reservation with one of his wonderful songs, he wrote it. He has the right. So it's a 2 LP set on this CBS label from New Zealand, and it came with a very cool Bob Dylan poster, which he watches my channel, Paul, and he discovered my channel through Mazzy. So I feel like I owe Mazzy from the Norman Maslov channel a thank you, because he saw me there. He started watching my videos. He got a feel for what I like. And look at that. How cool, huh? I have a niece, Emily, who is so into Bob Dylan, and she would just love that poster too. So I thought that was a very cool one. He also gave me a really cool Australian version of Street Legal. So that's a very cool record. I like this era of Bob Dylan. I like Infidels, Shot of Love, Street Legal. I like that. I really don't know that he made a terrible record. I haven't stumbled across one yet. All of them, I have found something to enjoy. Now here's another really cool record that was from the garage sales. Goodbye by Cream. And I really like this. This is a record I'd never I'd always wanted and never found in clean condition. And this is a beautiful copy of it. It is on the Atco label. And here is the inner sleeve. Got a lot of really cool records on display here. And again, it came with the original poster, which I think is so cool. It's hard to find this particular record that still has the poster intact. So check that out. Super cool. Next up is an artist I've never had in my collection before. I don't have a lot of blues records, but I love this one. So he does know me. He seems to know my taste. B.B. King, Indianola, Mississippi Seeds. Love the cover. And let me take this out so you can see the back, because the back's really cool too. Love that. This record actually grabbed me from the very first song, Nobody Loves Me But My Mother. And it's killer. Great guitar playing, great singing, just a really strong album. So this is a great way to really get into the blues. And it's on that ABC label. So a very clean copy of that. Next up is a record I already owned. He knew that, but he wanted to send this one to me. It had a purpose. The Best of Tommoy James and the Shondells. I have talked about this record on my channel a lot. It's very sentimental. I love the songs. I have an 80s reissue that I think sounds really good, but he upped the game for me and gave me a first pressing. It is in what they call a digipack. So you can see right here, that's how the record is. The rest, after the first pressings, I believe they just went to a regular gatefold. So I think that's very cool. And this does sound fantastic. The 80s reissue sounds phenomenal, and this one is even better. So I love having that one. Paul Simon's Greatest Hits, etc. And I have Graceland, so I think for me, having this and Graceland probably does it for my Paul Simon collection. There's a lot of really great songs on here. The one that really strikes me is Mother and Child Reunion. My mom had that 45 of it when we were kids, and my sister and I wore that song out. We just loved it. 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, Still Crazy After All These Years. He had some really great hits, so that's a really cool record, and it was a very clean, even the album cover looks perfect, so I'm really impressed that he was able to find something like that at a garage sale. Jimi Hendrix, this is a very cool one, Band of Gypsies. So very nice to have this one as well. Look at that wonderful gatefold. Now this is a reissue. It came with an original inner sleeve, even promoting the Velvet Underground on here, and just some really cool other records. This is on Capitol, kind of that early 70s orange label. So he warned me that he thought this one was noisy. This Jimi Hendrix record. I gotta tell you, what I did with all of these records, because they came from garage sales, I put them and cleaned them. I let the cleaning solution sit on and get into the grooves for a few minutes, and then vacuumed them all up. This sounded fantastic to me. They've all been very good, so I've been very impressed. The next couple of records are still sealed. Elvis, A Legendary Performer, Volume 2, and this has some really cool songs on it. Some of them I know, some of them I don't. Blue Suede Shoes, Blue Christmas, Jailhouse Rock, It's Now or Never. He also gave me a really cool little postcard from the 70s, or maybe even earlier than that. It looks like the 70s to me, of Elvis. And like I said, it's still sealed. You guys, if you want to get Elvis records for cheap, you've got about one more week. Because once that Elvis movie comes out, if it does as well as Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, all these prices for all these Elvis records are going to go, I'm not going to say they're going to go sky high, but they're going to increase. So if there's something you want by Elvis, get it now. Get it before that movie comes out. Maybe it won't change the price of Elvis vinyl, but I think it's going to increase his popularity, put him in the spotlight all over again. Here's another wonderful sealed record, Cheap Trick and Heaven Tonight. A really great one. In that favorite era of mine for Cheap Trick, those 70s, Dream Police, this one, I love that. So I already have it. Look at this cool little sticker. It's a price sticker from when it came out. Never been opened. Pretty amazing. Here's a cool one. MU, the best of Jethro Tull. And I took a magic eraser and just barely put some water on it. Just barely damp. And I cleaned all of the cover, so it's really nice and white. The back, I also cleaned and made it look a little bit better. It wasn't horrible or anything, but I gave it a little cleaning. So this is the best of Jethro Tull. It's on that green chrysalis label. I usually see that blue and white one, so the green one's pretty interesting. And it came with a very cool poster. So let me open that up and show that to you. Here, let's turn it around. So it's very cool that he finds these records at garage sales and they still have the posters intact. When I was a kid, if I got a poster in a record, it was up on my wall. And it stayed there until it got torn down. And my mom probably threw it away. We didn't save anything at my house. Lightning Strikes. This is Lou Christie. There is a lot of songs on here I recognized. And the one that really stood out to me was one, Always Something There to Remind Me. Honestly, I'd never heard a version of it other than the Naked Eyes version that was a hit in the 80s, which is a heartbreaking song that anytime, you know, you got broke up with or whatever, that was one of those songs that, you know, you'd listen to and feel sad. But anyway, Lou Christie sang that, and it was very interesting to hear a different version because I didn't know a different version existed. So call me crazy, I just didn't know. Here's a very cool one, Time Out by the Dave Brubeck Quartet. Now, I have the AP version of it. Analog Productions is phenomenal, but a very clean copy. And I believe if this isn't an original, it is an extremely early version. It says on here, it's a 6i Columbia label, CBS at the top of this, right in this little arrow. It is super clean, you guys, and I think this is a record, even if you don't think you'll ever get into jazz, I think you should pick this one up. It's such a great record. A Session with Gary Lewis and the Playboys. I knew the song Count Me In, so it was a very interesting listen because I knew that song. I love the hype sticker on here, and it's very cool. It is a promotional copy and is on a white label promo on Liberty. I'd never seen one of these white label promo Liberty labels before, so I thought that was really cool. Again, a very old record and still very clean. And yes, these records got the spa treatment from me. I cleaned them very carefully. Sometimes I let the solution soak on them for a few minutes before vacuuming up the solution, just getting a really deep clean. I get new inners, new outer sleeves from Vinyl Storage Solutions. I just really love them. Now, this next record I'm going to show, you're going to be shocked because it's a band. He's a part of a band that I love, and yet I've never had any of his solo work. Nothing. Never. I'm not a big fan of his solo work, but I'm going to give this one a try. This is Sammy Hagar. I read the titles of the songs. None of them really ring a bell. I'll probably recognize one or two once I play it. I'm very curious to hear it. I'm open to hearing Sammy Hagar solo music, and I do like some of it. I've just never bought any of his solo work, even though he was a member of Van Halen, and I'm grateful for his contribution to that band. I had just never bought any of his solo records. So to get that one is very cool. Now, this one is the one he said he paid a little more money, so this cost a little more than $1.50. This is a collection of Beatles oldies. This is an official Beatles record. It's a compilation. It came out of the UK. This particular version, I believe, is from the Netherlands. I need to look at it again a little bit more closely. It's a reissue. It's on this Parlophone silver label. It's in really good condition. You know, it's really cool. It's interesting because I feel like the UK has really, and I know they have, they've ignored this record ever since it came out and got a release. You don't see reissues of this very often, especially now. This is a reissue, but you know, this isn't included in box sets. It's just kind of been ignored. It's an unusual cover. The cover was photographed by David Christian, and the back cover is Robert Whittaker, who was a famous photographer for the Beatles. So really, really cool record to find at a garage sale. You know, you find a Beatles record at a garage sale, I can't imagine. Now I'm going to show you the book. He sent me this wonderful book. It is autographed, and I've been wanting this autograph for a long time, so it's really neat. So this is Gene Simmons, and you can see the title. You know what? I've had a couple of moms send me messages in the comments and say, you know what I really like about your channel is I feel like I can put it on, my kids can walk in the room, and they're safe. There's not going to be anything said inappropriate. So I've always remembered that, and I tried to be respectful of that. So anytime there's something questionable in the title of something, I won't say it. But I'm looking forward to reading this book, and I love Gene Simmons, and sure enough, there is an autograph. And he bought this at a garage sale for 50 cents. Unbelievable. Now I'm going to show you some of the records he just sent today. I have not been able to listen to them because I haven't even cleaned them yet. But I want to show them to you. First off, a very cool jazz record, The Night of the Cookers, live at Club La Marchelle. I hope I pronounced that correctly. This is volume 1. This is Freddie Hubbard, Lee Morgan, James Spaulding, Harold Mayburn Jr., Larry Ridley, Peter LaRocca, and Big Black, it says on here. So I streamed it because I wanted to hear what it sounded like. I didn't want to talk about something that I hadn't heard. And this is really fun. It is a good live album. You feel the spirit of the live album on this one. And it is on that Blue Note, the blue label. And it came with the original inner sleeve. So I thought that was very cool. And of course, also, and he said he paid 50 cents for these. Blue Note. This is volume 2 of the same live session. Again, very cool inner sleeve. The Blue Note blue label. And this is a person I don't have in my collection that I can recall that I wanted to have. He died very, very long time ago when jazz was still up and coming. Charlie Parker. So he sent this wonderful record. It's called Volume 8. It is on the Verve label. Anyway, very clean, pretty copy of this. I still need to give it a cleaning, but there are no scratches or problems on here, so I know it's going to sound wonderful. So the Verve label. Love having some Charlie Parker in my collection. He also sent this wonderful twofer, Charlie Parker. And this is a DJ copy, so it's really, really neat. It says Return Engagement by Verve. You can see it is a promo copy. They cut off a corner. Cool gatefold. And what's neat about this, it's a DJ copy, so it came as a white label promo on the Verve label. Can you believe that? He found that at a garage sale for like 50 cents. How insane is that? So I love having those. This is a 1983 Willie Nelson record, and I love this album cover. It's very textured. It feels, you could feel the embossing on it. He was really on a roll at this time. You know, he had put out On the Road Again and then Always on My Mind. This is 1983. This came out a little bit later. I just recently got a huge Willie Nelson grill that I will show in a future video. So I love having this. I'm a huge Willie Nelson fan, and I guess he saw last week's video where I was wearing a Willie Nelson t-shirt and realized she's a Willie Nelson fan, and he sent this wonderful record my way. As well as, finally, here's the last one I'm going to show, another Jimi Hendrix record. So cool. Here is the gatefold. Pretty amazing. Just really killer. The titles like Freedom, Drifting, Easy Rider. Great, great music. I can't wait to hear this one. It's on this really cool Reprise label, the brown label. So love having that. This is The Cry of Love by Jimi Hendrix. And I have seen this record before, but I've never bought it because honestly, for the condition, it's hard to find Jimi Hendrix records that aren't beat up. I don't know what that's all about. I guess Jimi Hendrix, people really love their records and they really, really give them a lot of love. So anyway, those are the wonderful records that Paul from California found at garage sales. So I'm thinking I might go to some garage sales in the future. Thank you so much, Paul, for your generous gifts. Thank you all for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button. let me know if there's anything you've ever found at a garage sale. I'd love to know what your cool finds are. Take care. Bye-bye.